Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you. It might not. Okay, so when I went to tap into this energy, I just heard, doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. So I feel like somebody here is just super attracted to you. They might love you. I'm not entirely sure what your situation is, because some of you, I do think that you are like dealing with this person or dating this person. Maybe it's new. It feels like there's a lot of fire energy here, like very passionate, very kinetic, very exciting, maybe new here for some of you. But even if this person, even if it's not love quite yet, I feel like it's attraction. It's like a lot of attraction, and it's on a lot of different levels. This person is definitely, they're attracted to your strength. And I feel like that has to do with like your personality. So some of you like might come on strong. It feels like there's a confidence and a competence, and that might not be to do with your voice for some of you. For some of you, it's like in the way that you move, in the way that you kind of navigate, like the way that you move your body might be like very sure of yourself. This person is attracted to your nobility and possibly like your unflappability. Some of you, like, nothing surprises you, or they're really attracted to that, like in terms of your personality. I also just heard like your tenacity. So I feel like maybe for some of you, this person has like been watching you even for a while, but this person is also like mad attracted to your body as well. They like your caboose, shall we say. They like your legs. They like your hair. They like your lips. They like your skin. If you have tattoos, they like that. This person really does just like to watch you kind of like in your element. And regardless of what you think your element is, because I think for some of you, you think maybe your element is more watery because maybe you do something very, creative or peaceful or intuitive or artistic or, something like that. Or maybe you think it's earthy. I feel like actually this person feels that your element is fire. I just heard fire, straight fire. And it's because they find you to be so rad. I just heard like they think that you're so cool, but they think that you are very, I'm hearing like competitive in your field. Not that you have like a competitive nature, but this person just really thinks that you've got the stuff, like you've got the strength, you've got the tenacity to really be able to like accomplish something. They think you're really good and competent and confident at what you do. This person also, like, there's a wild like physical attraction here. I also feel like maybe there's some banter or some personality. This person, even if you haven't spoken a lot to this person, they like the way that you talk or the way that you communicate. Cause I feel like it's not like you're not, how do I put this? It's like you are sure of yourself in some way. You're not trying to get attention. You are, you're there, solidly there. But also in regards of like the physical attraction, I think that this person feels like I just heard, you don't know you're beautiful. Yeah. Oh wait, how does it go? You don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I could see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Yeah, so this person doesn't think that you see yourself maybe the way that other people see you. So for some of you, this person might think that other people actually find you to be really attractive, but the way that you interact with the world, I just heard from Emma. There's a quote where he says to Emma, Mr. Knightley, her love interest, who, I don't know, kind of has this quality that I'm describing, but he says to Emma, despite how very attractive you are, you seem little occupied with it. So I feel like this person maybe thinks that you're very humble or you're not occupied with your attractiveness. And I genuinely think that you're not. At the very least, you're going through some kind of phase here or some kind of segment of your life where you really need to focus on something that you're trying to overcome in yourself or something that you are trying to achieve in the external world. It's like you really have to focus on something, and you really are focused on it. You're focused on like being good at something, the skillfulness of your moves and your actions and the effectiveness of those moves and actions. And that seems to be what you're actually focused on here. But this person does find you to be really attractive. It could be that they think that just overall you're unaware of how attractive other people, or uninterested, in how attractive other people find you. But it also could be specific to them, like that you don't realize how attractive they find you, because maybe you haven't like acknowledged it or something. Because again, I do think that there's something here that is kind of pulling your focus. And it also could be in a relationship where you're trying not to be led by schmegduality, because this card that I'm looking at here, it's this woman kind of wrestling a boar, which is really giving me strength vibes. But I feel like the boar is maybe like, again, lower natures. So it could be that you are really attracted to this person too, but you're just trying not to like lead with that energy. And maybe you are kind of restricting yourself here a bit. But this person also, despite the attraction that's going on here and like the attractiveness that I think goes both ways here between both of you, this person respects you and like they admire you. They really want this kind of like teamwork kind of love. And I just heard, I respect that. So I think this person, there's something here, and it might be specific that you're thinking about this person, that you're like want this person to honor. It could be that you have children, or that you have to move slow for this reason, or this person's like, I really respect that. If you have been strong in just kind of stating your boundaries or something, I feel like this person like respects that. But as I was saying, I feel like this person wants a teamwork kind of love. They want things to be like mundane, but in a really positive way. They want like a happy home, and they want to be strong for you. And this person really does want to like lift you up, and they want for the two of you to feel like connected and like loving towards each other, to be like loving towards each other. This is really, really sweet. But also like very grounded at the same time. And I just get the sense that this person likes to just like look at you, even when you're not looking. And I just heard it again, like in your element. They like to watch you kind of move, because you move with a kind of grace or elegance or confidence, like you're really in your element. And they think your element is fire. They really do. They think that you are, it's attractive, whatever it is. And it feels like fire as like a secondary element. So maybe there's something earthy that you do, or something watery that you do, or something air related that you do. So like, I don't know, intellect, creativity, like with your hands, or earthy or something. But they think that actually it draws us a kind of attention. There's a certain kind of charisma that comes off of you, or like attractiveness because of that. And it feels almost like, like it's a side effect not intended, which kind of makes them more attracted to you. I'm not entirely sure. But I feel like this person also, they weren't expecting you. And I think you were not expecting this person, because again, like you seem like you're really focused on something, and you kind of know it. You kind of know that this is like a stint in your life, or like some kind of, for now, you need to focus on this kind of a thing, you know? And you kind of got your head down, focused on something here. They're trying to overcome something. But this person wasn't expecting you either. And they weren't expecting to have feelings for you. Because maybe for some of you, you know this person, but this actually feels like a new person, somebody that you are in an environment with, or somebody that you just met. And they crack the code is what I'm hearing, but they break the mold in some way. And I feel like that's kind of significant. And I also feel like it's kind of ordained, or like divinely, it feels like a blessing, to be honest. Because I think that you find this person really attractive. I feel like the attraction like goes both ways. And it's like, you're both really attracted to each other's bodies. And I think that you feel kind of the same way about this person, or you will, if you like look up from what you're doing for a second and kind of notice more about this person. I think that you will feel that way about this person too, where you notice the same things in each other, like all the really nice stuff that this person thinks about you, of like, wow, that person's really strong. They're very confident. They're not trying to get attention, but they kind of get attention anyways. And it's secondary to the fact that they have this focus on something that they're really trying hard to come through, or they're really trying hard to be good at, and it makes them attractive, and it makes them charismatic, or like kind of pull the eye in some kind of way. I think that this person kind of is the same way, but I think that there is a sheer just raw attraction that both of you have to like your physical forms, both of you. And there's something about the way that this person looks that I think breaks the mold for you, or it is intended, like divinely and intentionally intended to break some kind of mold for you. So it could be that this person is just like otherworldly attractive. Like you were like, wow, that person should model for GQ or something, you know? And that maybe you weren't expecting that kind of person to be interested in you. It also could be that this person's not your typical type, because maybe you always go for guys that have a certain, I don't know, like some kind of certain quality or temperament, or they have this kind of job, or they have this kind of look to them, or they're around this build or height or whatever. And this person you find to be just really, really attractive, but they don't fit that like kind of mold, but you're genuinely like actually attracted to this person. And it could be that it feels like the energies are mirrored here and kind of blended. So I feel like the same thing's kind of going on with the two of you. Now, the other thing though, is that I feel that there are actually two energies here that feel this way about you, that are kind of attracted to you for your strength and your nobility and this inner kind of quality that you have. But one of them, I feel like is somebody from the past. And I don't want to go too far into this energy because frankly, they bother us enough. We do our shadow work on this channel. We're not outrunning it. Like, I feel like maybe that's for some of you what you're processing through as well. Like, because you feel like that connection with this person in the past, it feels like it was centered around control, and that this person wanted to like kind of dominate you or like have you under control in some kind of way. And you found that person to be really attractive too. Like, you found their body to be really attractive, but I feel like it would be in a different way than you find this person's body to be attractive. So they could have like, again, different kinds of builds or yeah, but you still are like very attracted to this other person. And that's meant to kind of, this is an opening here, like with this new person. It is like, it's a new beginning. It's very divinely like energized energy. It's giving like Ace of Wands, this kind of passionate, exciting, kinetic, new energy. And it's like, it's an opening, and it's this offering to kind of put this energy in the past, this, of this old person. And it's to help kind of overcome that, to kind of throw away like that, you know, who you were, or like this coupledom between the two of you once and for all. And again, it might be mirrored here with this person, because I'm kind of getting that there's somebody here from their past that they are also moving beyond. And I kind of want to say this is so specific, so it might not be like resonant for everybody, but I think that you have a different hair color than this person. It could be that you have like a different kind of sexiness or a different kind of build or a different kind of body, but I definitely feel like it's like a hair color thing. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I feel that getting like they're moving beyond like whatever that is as well. But it feels like this is counterpart energy. Sorry, I just like hiccuped there a little bit in my throat. And there might have been just like a little bit of a hiccup in this relationship, or yeah, I don't know. But it feels really exciting, like this new person, because like I said, I feel like they're divinely meant to break some kind of mold. And I think the first mold that they're meant to break is this like attractiveness, because it's like you're attracted to a certain kind of person. So maybe this is for some of you a pattern that plays out with like multiple people, or it's like this ex from your past and you were really attracted to this ex. Like, you know, there's something about like their body, or even like their games, you know, the controlling element here. And I'm not saying that you were directly attracted to it. I think it's something like it confused your brain. It was like, it was intense and it was passionate, and you thought that it was love. Like, oh, this person tries to control me because they just want me so much, you know? And I do think that's right, but it's kind of devil energy. And maybe some of you feel like you were in devil energy, like, you know, kind of around this person, or like when you were involved in this person. And so it's kind of sidelining that energy, and it's throwing that energy in like a purification kind of fire. And it's giving you this is a beautiful like new beginning. And this person is like solid. I'm not saying that they're, you know, you guys are never going to have any problems and they're always going to change the toilet paper roll, and, you know, but it feels like good. There's a lot of schmegel energy. There's a lot of passion energy. There's a lot of attractiveness, and it feels like it's meant to help you break through molds and break through patterns, and give you an ability here. But it feels like a mystery. And maybe for some of you, the mystery of this, of like where this is going to go, it's not exactly comfortable, because what is this storm warning energy? Divine intervention. Oh, okay. Because there may have been this like catalyst divine intervention energy between you and this ex that also finds you very attractive for all these reasons. They do see that teamwork energy, but they're about control and they see that you're about teamwork. And so it seems like not the best matchup, you know? And there could have been some kind of divine intervention between the two of you where it kind of like all exploded, and it was a lot, and it was karmic. And it feels like it was this drama or this obstacle or this like wrecking ball in your relationship. And this is kind of the other end of it. You know, so it's the same kind of energy, this divine intervention energy, this fire energy, this karmic energy. But the karma here is an opening. And it feels like the fire energy is like a purification fire that actually you're kind of burning off. Again, the devil energy here is like getting deaded. And it feels like to do with that relationship in the past. And it's assisting you maybe in overcoming an aspect of yourself here. But this fire is a purifying kind of fire with this person. And it feels like the fire of y'all's attraction to each other. And like also maybe a shared goal or a shared dharma. And it feels like that has to do with just building a life together, you know, building a home together that feels comfortable and for both of you. And that's that cooperation energy where it's actually matched in this person. That teamwork love, that cooperation energy, it's actually matched in this person. And so your cooperation energy is not just seen, targeted, and weaponized against you by a person who like wanted some kind of control. So they could kind of always hold that over your head, even subtly, or even if they were, very slick at what they were doing and like acting like that wasn't what they were doing. This person, it feels like actually it's reciprocated between the two of you, and you can actually feel what that energy is supposed to be, that cooperative love. When you don't just give that energy, you also receive it as well. And this person genuinely wants to receive it. And I think there's something about them that's just very attractive. It also might break your mold of like, oh, well, people who are really attractive all act like my ex. Because they're so hot, they can kind of get away with things. This person's not like that. I think this person's kind of virtuous. They have this noble quality as well, where they're like, even if I could be a little shithead, why would I want to? You know what I enjoy? This is a person who they have a determination about them. They like a challenge. I just heard they love a challenge. Genuinely, it feels like kind of a little kid that gets excited. They like, maybe that got weaponized against them in the past, that they like a challenge because I just heard like love. I think that's something that they're supposed to learn through you is like, love is not supposed to be challenging. They could have had a partner that was like always challenging them, but like maybe or a family, I just heard as well, that was like very always argumentative or challenging. It could even be in this like debate energy. Well, I'm hearing, actually, like, that kind of energy, that love doesn't have to be challenging. Like there's something about you guys or you that is a challenge, but it's because you hold yourself in high esteem. You hold yourself in some kind of like respect. And maybe there's something here that you're trying to accomplish. And so the challenge, it's like you guys have to meet a challenge together. You're partners. And the challenge is life, And so this is like the energies feel situated properly here. And it feels actually healthy. And it's bringing in, I just heard a fresh air, a new wind. And I said that in another reading recently, where it was the Ardra reading, where it was like, there was a storm like off the coast, way out in the sea, and it was dredging up a bunch of stuff, but I could sense that there was a new wind. This is the new wind. So this is for the group that is kind of further along, more progressed in that journey. Every once in a while, Spirit sends people in waves, like to my channel and to like this, I don't know, curricula that Spirit kind of sends to the like planet through me and through my readings. And we've gone through 2 major cycles that I've been able to recognize. And I think maybe this is the start of a 3rd one. So like some people are just kind of coming in, and as some people here are really kind of moving to a different phase of it, which is, I feel like this new person kind of coming in. And so they are the hope. I just heard the hope, the way, the truth, and the light. So if you're new here and if something's just kicked off, and you're drawn into this reading, just know, I feel like this is in your future. This is like where you're headed, because some people have done the work here and they've been very focused and they've been purging and burning through their karmas, and like they're kind of coming out on the other end. So that's neither here nor there. So if this isn't happening in your life right away, but actually there's been some kind of divine intervention energy between that old kind of relationship, just know, I just heard, I'm so sick of that same old love by Selena Gomez, and you're so sick of it and you're like, how do I change this? And I feel like, let that encourage you. Anyways, like back to this energy. Oh my gosh, home. A home card just came out. Comfort, safety, belonging, and shelter. These are all things that even though there was maybe a lot of attraction between you and this old person from your past, I don't think that you would associate these words. Like maybe you guys lived together, but was this person your comfort? Were they your safety? Did they make you feel like you belonged? Did they always make sure that you felt like you belonged, or were they sleeping with all your friends and gossiping about you behind your back? And, and making damn sure that you didn't for a second feel comfortable or feel a sense of belonging, right? This person is the opposite of that energy. This person wants to build a home with you, but they also know the feeling of home. Or if they don't know the feeling of home, like you guys are both interested in discovering that together, where you're like, wow, I feel so comfortable here. This is beautiful energy. And I feel like there's some signs and synchronicities that are bringing you into this, but it might feel odd or awkward because it's a mold breaker kind of energy that's coming in. So it feels odd and it feels kind of maybe awkward here. And I'm not telling you to discount your intuition here. I just feel like your intuition is shifting and changing because it's learning how to sniff out this control issue that the ex had, I just heard the X factor. So it's like there's some kind of factor here that this new person is bringing in this new variable to kind of, that's an answer. In some way, it's like an answer to how do I avoid like this old cycle? Yeah. So this person, okay, might come in hot. They might send some type of message, or you might want to go on they might, I don't know, go on some kind of trip. I don't really like that. I don't believe in going on a trip just right away, because I like to run everybody through. I don't want to be attracted to the excitement of like the first date. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, yeah, you almost don't realize that this person likes you or is as interested in you as they are. Even if you kind of know that there's a spark here and that you're both attractive people, or that you kind of find the other person attractive, I think you're not so sure that this person's serious and like wanting to move on this, but they actually are. And maybe even so, like you might think that it's fire energy, that this like 8 of Wands energy, you might think that this is just going to be like a schmegul fling or something like that, but then it's actually going to turn into a Pentacles energy, and you're going to be like, what the, like, you know what? Huh? And it's going to reveal some kind of truth, which is, and I think part of the truth is that you got it going on. You really got it going on. Because I think some of you have been so focused on something here that you're doing. It's not a bad thing. It's exactly what you were meant to be doing. And you were so at one with it, and you were so like genuinely focused on it, that you were genuinely like purging karmas. You were actually burning through your karma. You were learning your lessons and integrating. And then you kind of looked up one day, and I feel like you're like, oh, I'm the 9 of Pentacles. I'm a catch. How did that happen? I'm a catch, you know? And this is like connecting you with your confidence, because I feel like something here about what happened with the ex like hurt your confidence, but it's like a them problem. I mean, not to say that it didn't correspond. Like, I feel like there's things that you were learning here as well. Like control is not love, and control is not cooperation. And that this ex feels like it was drawn in to your cooperation because they wanted you to give that to them. They didn't necessarily want to give that to you. I think that's part of like the pattern that's being broken here. And it maybe has to do with like expectations or something. Yeah. And this ex is watching you too. And through watching this unfold, they're having to acknowledge the truth about themselves, their own moves, and their own life. I just heard the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. And something here about like victory, because I think this ex thought that they were on the way to victory, like that they were going to win the breakup or something. And then boom, the 10 of Swords. Like, yeah, they thought that they wanted to be like above you, you know, they wanted I feel like this is the kind of ex that like wanted to move on super quick and like get into a relationship, and as a shortcut to maturity, which it is absolutely not. And that's not a move that someone who is healthy and mature does, you know, but they just wanted to be seen that way. And they wanted to say things like, well, my partner, or like, well, we have to make these decisions together. We have to balance the checkbook. We have to adult, you know, or something like that. I don't know. But it was a shortcut to like winning. And that was what their entire intention was. So it's disingenuous, the whole way that they've kind of gone about building this other path in this other relationship. And you may know about that. You might not, because I think for some of you, you kind of moved on from this, and you kind of know that your ex is about control or whatever. Managing, like, I don't know, maybe they projected this onto you, that you were all about image, but they were all about their image. I don't know. But there's some kind of truth that they're having to confront, because you were not expecting this person and they were not expecting you. And then it just worked because you guys both have attraction to each other, but also mutual respect. And I feel like there's something about him, this guy that's coming in, that breaks the mold, maybe even for this ex too. Because they are attractive. This is like in some way, this person's attractive, or like successful or something. And maybe your ex was telling themselves that this is just the way that people behave. Yeah, there's like a kind of dogmatism that this person's having to they have a dogma that they've been living by. It's not the reality of things. Whereas this new person, I don't think is under the thumb of some kind of dogma. They're not under that same control of this like dogma. So, they're going to give you everything that you need, and a lot of what you want is what I'm hearing. They're going to give you everything that you need, and things that you might not even know that you need. And that's like this kind of passionate new beginning, kind of energy here. Yeah. And for some of you, there's a baby on the way if you want one, or there's just some kind of like passionate new beginning here. And also, like, for some of you, this ex energy is kind of realizing that maybe they thought this was unrequited love between the two of you, but maybe that's why I don't know. They might wake up in a situation because it doesn't feel like it's based on love. And I think this new person that you're with is going to realize that there was some kind of situation in their past that was also unrequited love. It was actually just determination. Somebody wanted to take something from them, or, yeah. that they were kind of giving a loving energy, but somebody here was like a bad faith actor. They used the love energy to, I think, gold dig for some of you, or to just have something traditional, like to have the image of something here. Or it could be where they're like, oh, I didn't really love that person anyway. Like this, it feels like the two of you are like, oh, this is what love is. I just heard, so this is love. Mm-hmm. So this is love. Yeah. And it all came through your inner strength and independence, which I feel like is not what you were taught. I feel like there was some kind of dogma that you were indoctrinated into where it's like and I just heard, don't forget that. When you get into a relationship here with this person, what they're attracted to is like your inner strength and your independence. And that's not what you were taught. That's not like the dogma that maybe you were prized for, or that was playing out between like you and this ex or something here. This person likes and respects you because of your like inner strength and independence. I just heard, yeah, and don't forget that. Because that's when your person came in, was when you were in this like 9 of Pentacles energy. That like the strength, the independence, when you were, yeah. Oh my gosh, love at first sight, balcony. This is so romantic. Oh my gosh, this is so, oh my gosh. Romeo just came out. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a beautiful love story. I feel like this person's going to treat you like with respect. This feels very much like they are going to, there's no games here. It feels like they're really going to treat you like, not a princess, but it feels like courtship, you know? They're going to ask you to go on a date. They're going to take you out to dinner. They're going to do all the romantic stuff. Like this person doesn't have a weird thing about their masculinity where they're like, if I do that, like if I take a woman out to dinner, it makes her in control or something. They're not viewing this through the lens of control. I think there's mutual respect here. They respect you and they are coming from a place of they know who they are kind of a thing. This is really nice. This is extremely nice. Yeah. So it's going to start like, this is Pentacles energy. They really are offering you something. Oh my gosh, I just heard you're my wish. Like you're my wish fulfillment. They might not have even known that. It feels like that's what this is between the two of you. You're both a wish fulfillment for each other, but you don't even realize it, like maybe at first, because you didn't know that this was what you were looking for. I just heard it again. So this is love. So this is love. You could have just been looking for love in all the wrong places, and then boom, it's going to hit you on the head like a coconut falling from a tree. Yeah. And it's a beautiful new beginning, and it's going to help you turn some things around here. And there's responsibility energy that needs to get sorted out. In you and in your person and in this ex, the responsibility energy is not in the right place. So I think you were trained to take on much more of the responsibility, could have blamed yourself here. Even though it seems like there was some type of divine intervention that happened between you and like this ex, because this ex needs to clean up their act in some way. And they need to admit to themselves that they're at fault here. Like they caused a rift is what I'm getting. Cause I just saw a big fault line here. Like there's some type of major rift between the two of you that they caused. And I think they respect this. I don't know if they know this person, or I don't think they do. I think that they can just maybe see this, or they've heard about this guy. But this guy is kind of great. And like is in some way like the picture of masculinity. Like his body or what he does, or like he's in some way a way that people know signals like masculine. And this guy is like, look at this guy just kind of giving love freely to his woman. Is that what we're supposed to do? And the answer is yes, it is. And that's like what went wrong here. This guy was so deeply, I want to say, oh my gosh, unmasculine, but he was also so unconfident in himself that he could not just be himself. He could not just give in a relationship and not have it mean some weird shit, you know? It doesn't mean, like with this guy, it is what it is. You know, I had extra, so I gave you some, you know? I was thinking of you, so I picked up some flowers. It's just as simple as that. Like it really is. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. There's a confidence here in this guy, and it's beautiful. And there's a confidence that allows for a purity of action. And again, karma means action. The karmas here are good. The karmas here led to you. And like I said, you guys are all sorting out responsibility energy. So I think you have taken on too much responsibility for something that happened here in the past and the way that you were treated in the past, which honestly probably in some way has suited you. It's like functioning dysfunction energy, because it has helped you to take ownership of your actions and therefore process your actions and integrate and become better. And I feel like he's the same way. I feel like this guy has to forgive himself, and like he was taking on too much of the load is what I'm hearing, like in his past relationship, but also taking on too much of the responsibility for something. Maybe there's a responsibility of how he met this past person. Oh, well, like it shouldn't have really, it feels like maybe it shouldn't have become a relationship. And then it was kind of obvious from the start that this was maybe a more temporary thing, that this person was trying to make into more or something, or they kept giving, like it feels like an over giving kind of thing, like to a situation. And maybe that was because they were insecure, but they've kind of had to advocate for themselves or like kind of come up out of this. I don't know. The responsibility energy is like what's getting floated around here. And it feels like, I just heard it. So this is love. I feel like the two of you are just there's a lot of attraction here and a lot of respect and a lot of admiration and like a desire for the same things, to like build and invest in the same things. But I feel like you're going to wake up one day and be just like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with you. Like this is love. You're my person. This isn't, I feel like this may be your divine counterpart. Okay. But, like not in the way that people talk about it, runner, chaser, all that. When really it's people's attachment issues that are kind of like bubbling up to the forefront, and people are trying to make sense of that. And, and I'm not trying to throw shade here. I'm just trying to, I feel like you've kind of stumbled upon it here, but it was because you were doing your work. And I think that far from a runner chaser, there's like investment energy, and you're just going to kind of wake up one day. And it's not to say that you haven't understood this person's value and like your attraction to them and everything like that. It's not that, because it's very much here, but it's like you're going to have processed through the shit that you both dealt with in the past. And you're going to be like, oh my God, you're my dream person. Like it's not that you don't feel that now. It's just, there's so much attraction and everything, but it feels like just kind of organic, and it's just happening. And then it feels like there's going to be a time where it all kind of clicks together, and you're just going to be like, I couldn't have chosen better for myself if I tried. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but what you were trying to focus on yourself and your own karma, and you were trying to clean up your mess, and you were trying to maybe overcome an aspect in yourself, or you were there was a goal that you were a higher goal, a divine goal that you were maybe even a dharmic energy that you were trying to achieve externally. And you were so focused on the rightness or the purity like of that energy that this is manifestation. This is manifestation. You were focused on yourself, being the best person that you could be. And that energy really did attract somebody else here. And you weren't trying to control this past person. You know that you can't control them. And you kind of, I think there was an acceptance around this person not being willing to change. And you loving yourself enough to not put your life on hold or your goals on hold or something here. Something here like that. You overcame this. And this is pulling in here. This feels really big. And also I just felt something like kind of move between my heart chakra and my throat. It felt like a weight lifted, so there's some kind of karmic blockage or obstacle around like speaking from the heart. And I feel like both of you are able to do that. It doesn't feel like any weird games. And I think, okay, that's the last thing that I'll say here is I think that some of you took on too much responsibility of things that you didn't say, that you wish you would have said, but it was because your weird ex here, no offense, I can tell that you were like in love with this person and you find them to be really attractive. You really believe in them. And I think that's great. They are a soul and a body too. And you're absolutely correct. But what I was meaning is that because this person was all about control, and there is something weird about their masculinity, something dinged in it, like where their masculinity for them is they chase after what society tries to tell them masculinity is, instead of living it from the inside out and just saying like, I do what I want, not in like, I abuse people. Like, cause a lot of times that's shorthand for I abuse people and I don't care how I make you feel. This guy is healthy. This new guy is healthy in that. But because your ex was the way that they were around that, they weren't embodying themselves from the inside out. That caused a blockage between the heart and the throat chakra. They weren't able to say, and they weren't able to create and help you create a culture of vulnerability and cooperation. And so I feel like that actually was the root cause of, not that you were entirely blameless here, but I feel like there's something here that you blame yourself for, of like, well, I could have said this or I could have said that. And it's like, yeah, well, this person chose to do weird control shit instead of speaking their heart, and that would have taken vulnerability, which would have taken masculinity, and courage, masculine trait. It was out of reach here for this person. And yes, like they're a soul, they're on their own journey and they have to kind of come to that conclusion for themselves too. But I feel like that's part of the responsibility that you're letting go of, you know? Because I feel like this person, the person from your past is actually the one, karmically speaking here, it looks like they needed to initiate a conversation from the heart, either to take responsibility, and to maybe turn something around here. And I think they didn't. And I think that you gave up waiting, and there's certain like acceptance here. And that's what's pulling in this kind of new energy. And it's a very purifying, energized, happy, kinetic, action oriented. The actions are big here. There's a lot going on here, in a good way, kind of energy, but it's also like very, very stable. And it feels also like there's a cocoon. There's like a privacy that you have with this person, just because of the cooperative nature of, and the respect, the mutual respect and admiration. And yeah, this is really beautiful. Okay. So yay. That's what I have for you. If that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Or for that second group, if you would like for it to resonate, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because I do feel there's a group here where you could have been drawn into this reading as a bit of foreshadowing of what's possible if you do the work here. The proof is in the pudding. There's a group here that can attest to it, and maybe is attesting to it in the comment section below, that they actually have genuinely done the work here, and that this is like kind of unfolding for them, and something may have just kicked off in your life that was some kind of divine intervention energy between you and a person that is actually navigating like control dynamics on you. So that's the other group here. Okay. That's all for me, and thanks for listening. Bye.